Good afternoon, Mitra. Thank you for joining me today for afternoon tea.
I've got my tea here.
You got your tea there. Well, I've got my water actually. So my first question to you today is, what was your childhood like?
You know, this is a really interesting question. And rather than me saying it, how it was mine, why don't we all, for a few seconds, go back to our childhood?
Mm-hmm.
And it is not difficult, you know. Sometimes I go back there, but I try and go back to the times when there was a lot of fun, a lot of joy, a lot of expectations from life, or you know, the curiosity of life. But to answer your question, yes, it was a beautiful, beautiful childhood of lots of dreams, lots of love, lots of naughtiness, as we all do in our childhood, and and I would not replace it with anything. Lots of learning. I'll add something. You know, there's a beautiful ghazal. You know, ghazal is a type of music that Indians listen, and this one says, "Ye daulat bhi le lo, ye shohrat bhi le lo." Take this money that I have now. Take this famous structure that I have now. Ye daulat bhi le lo, ye shohrat bhi le lo. Chahe chhin lo mujhse meri jawani. Or take this youthness that I have from me, but return me those little pockets of childhood where I used to play with the paper boat in the water, and my grandmother used to, you know, look after me. So it's a beautiful, beautiful line. Mm-hmm. And you will not believe, most of us end up pursuing our childhood dreams at some point in life. Mm. So I had an amazing childhood, and I try and remember some of my beautiful, beautiful days when I didn't have gray hair. I was very tiny, and I used to be very naughty. So thank you.
Okay. And did you have any siblings?
Yes, we had 3 brothers and 1 sister. So I was the eldest one. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's what I did.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And did you enjoy school?
Oh, a lot, to be honest. You know, school was another learning stage of my life, and I remember still I used to be a really bad singer, but I somehow made it to the choir. You know, and I used to know lots of Christmas songs or carols, and we were about 20-25 people, and sometimes when I didn't know how to sing it, I would just lip sing, you know. I don't know, because I would sound very bad, but school was really good. I learned so many things, not only subject wise, but a lot of my today's foundation, I would give it to the school I studied in.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And did you have a favorite subject at school?
Lots of them. You know, I really liked literature. So I really enjoyed literature, Shakespeare. I enjoyed history. I was a good student at mathematics, science. But I really enjoyed literature and history. History fascinated me.
Mm-hmm. And did you have any problems at school?
No, I didn't have. I was the problem. I didn't have any. I was a very curious child, and I would ask thousands of questions and drive people crazy.
Mm.
But no problems at all. I was quite into sports and different things like elocution, like the poetry readings or essay writings. No problems at all. It was other than being into too many things at the same time.
Mm.
It was wonderful.
So you left school, and did you go on to further education?
I did. I did my engineering in electronics and telecommunications with radar communications as my majors, and it was fantastic. Very few people know that I am an engineer, but that's another story. Yeah.
So you went into engineering first, did you?
Yeah. I gave I was quite good at some of the subjects, and you give an entrance exam, and I got qualified to do my electronics and telecom, a 4-year degree, which was again a fascinating journey.
So you got your degree, then you went into engineering.
So the degree was engineering degree. So I did my whole schooling, my college, and then I did that. I did want to do some further studies and PhD and things like that, but I didn't. I after my degree, I just started working. And
So what was your first job then in engineering?
But my first job was, if you look at a watch has an oscillation. So oscillation have oscillation engineers. Sometimes when you see today some of the expensive watches you see, some of them are expensive because of their mechanics. A normal watch starts to lose about 4 seconds or more every year, starts going back. But the precision watches like Jaeger-LeCoultre, or if you go higher end, some of those higher end watches, a lot of their focus is based on the mechanics of oscillation, that it does not lose time. So that was one of my my first play around with the engineering job, and that was the last one. I didn't go back because I went into different fields after that.
So what did you do then after?
I mean, I was visiting a lot of times. I was excusing myself visiting the ashrams in India and Nepal. So I would take holidays or paid holidays, and I remember I was in an ashram in India, and one of my friends said, "Oh, HSBC is interviewing. Do you want to give it a chance?" And I thought, I'll work for HSBC, earn a little bit of money and move on to another city, because I was traveling to Nepal. I wanted to travel to Europe, and you need money for that. So I went in, gave my interview. I don't know how they selected me, and then I stayed there for 6-7 years. So that was in HSBC, in the IT division of human resources, and then I moved into permanent human resources jobs.
Okay, so when did you set up your business that you're doing now? How did you go into meditation from basically working at the bank?
This was always the plan. This was always the plan. It needed the right time and right readiness from me as well. And when I look back, I can see that it took me over 20 years to call myself a meditation teacher. Meditation is such a huge subject. and simplifying meditation is bigger than
Mm.
the essence of meditation itself. So the plan was always this, but I had to learn, unlearn, relearn, again unlearn. But this setup, the online setup that I've done, I think we put this in mental design in 2017. I started talking to people in 2018 who would work with me, who would understand what I'm trying to do. So 2018, we set it in motion, but I was still working in Hampshire in 2018. I was still working in Bournemouth, but at the background, this whole work was going on, the IT setup of it. What's the message going to be? How we are going to keep it really simple? So somewhere around 2017, the idea started taking some force.
Mm-hmm. Good. And has the pandemic affected your business, or has it helped it?
I don't think I have seen it from that point of view, to be honest. The earlier plan was for me to, because I have quite a long corporate background, and the plan was for me to start going to the organizations and helping them become a mindful organization, helping them start treating people as human beings, and just not the going with the handbook culture or the culture at the moment we have in UK or Europe or anywhere in the world. That's what got stopped when pandemic happened. But we just very quickly focused on our online, developing our online module, and just went with the flow. Whatever had to happen would happen. So we just tried our best to keep people aware of what we are offering. I didn't see it as whether it affected or not. I just took it as it came my way. I mean, when I couldn't go out, I didn't go out. Now I'm slowly getting out and meeting people and seeing whoever can collaborate, connect, or benefit or add value to the work that I'm doing.
Okay. And is looking back over your life, is there anything that you would change?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Other than my glasses, maybe, but other than that, nothing.
And how can people on the broadcast help you, or listening to the recording help you?
I think everybody who is coming into my life is helping me in some way or the other. Anybody listening, I would invite them to get in touch, get connected. You never know what positive addition they could do to my journey or to my work. So anybody who is coming in my life for short term, long term, who is staying, is without realizing helping me.
And if people need help from you, how can they get in touch with you?
Now it's becoming really simple to get in touch with me. I was not on social media until a year ago. So I am on, you won't believe, I'm even on Clubhouse now. I am on Instagram. I am on Facebook, LinkedIn. I have my website, which is mindfulu.space. So the doors are open. People just need to be a little bit more stronger and jump in. Mitra will always be there.
Okay. Is there anybody that wants to ask Mitra a question?
If I can add something.
Yes, by all means, yeah.
Mitra, I keep saying it so people remember, because in my meditations, I address people as Mitra. Now, Mitra means a friend. And my whole life's work is to help you so you become your own friend. So that's what Mitra is all about. There you go. The floor is yours.
So is Mitra your real name?
So Vijay is my first real name, but when look at the phenomena of name. So you never choose your name. You, in fact, don't even choose whether to come to this life. You're given this life and you're given this name. When you want to have a very when you want to make a very drastic change, you take away some of the identity that is given. So Mitra is an addition to the new life journey that I am on.
Catherine's just asked a question. What was the naughtiest thing you did as a child?
I'll have to write a book on all the naughtiest things I used to do. But you know, simple things that children do, you know. Because I was tall, I used to be on the back benches. And you know, because you know, the people who are smaller in height, they sit in front, and we were quite not very nicely famous as backbenchers, because sometimes when the lecture or the school was not very interesting, we would start asking questions which were not related at all with what was going on in the class. So something like that.
Yeah. Anybody else got a question?
Yeah, I've got one.
Yes, Andy.
I was going to ask you, what is your plans for the future? What are you going to do? Have you got any plans?
I do have a plan that I'm working towards, and it might not be successful, which I'm not worried about. But I do want to open a space in the UK or Europe, which could be, you know, people sometimes in modern days call it a retreat center, but a place which would have, I can picture a little river running and palm trees like which Mandy has, and little places where people could just come and be, rather than. So this is what I keep thinking about. There could be a retreat center, if I could, in this lifetime, try and create for people. I think this is going to be a 20-year vision, where, you know, people just pack their bags and say they're off to Mitra, and there could be music, dancing, meditation, or silence or quietness.
Thank you.
That's the biggest plan. It might not happen, Mandy, but
It sounds really great. Sounds really super. Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Have you got a question for Mitra? Maria? No more questions. Okay, well, thank you, Mitra, for joining me for afternoon tea today.
Thank you. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. And anybody who's watching, everybody who's here, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Look after yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.